Hey everybody, this is Tim with Op-Ed Daily. So forgive my voice. I lost my voice over the weekend, so just bear with me as I get through this. What I'd like to talk to everybody about today is Russia and the United States and Syria and essentially World War III. Now, we know that the United States has been trying to provoke something, some conflict, some action, some event for a while now. And I called it last year. Of course, I missed the date of the crash. I assumed the crash would come around March or April. I was off by several months. But I also had said that if it doesn't happen then, they're either going to be going to war or they're going to be creating money and shoveling it into the stock market, which they've done both, essentially. So now we're seeing this provocation come to fruition because the Russian military has landed in Syria. Now, the Kremlin is denying this, and maybe it's because John Kerry came out and said that Russia is going to escalate Syrian conflict. But what I find amazing is that the United States continually says that they're just fighting terrorists. That's all we're doing over there. We're just trying to get those terrorists out of there. We're not playing war games here. We're not creating proxy wars with anybody. We're not trying to destabilize anything. We're trying to combat terrorism. That's what they've been saying. Well, Russia probably a couple of weeks ago came out and said that they were willing to put forces in the Middle East and combat terrorism. Nobody thinks terrorists are good. If, terrorists is going to go around blowing stuff up, what government is going to want that? Probably only the ones that are producing those terrorists, and they're producing those terrorists because people won't get the hell out of their country. These people don't do this just because of their religion. They're doing this because the United States and other countries have been messing in their business for 30 or 40 or 50 years now. And nobody will leave. Eventually things like that are going to happen. So that's how I see it. I mean, others might think that it is a religious thing, but I completely disagree. The religious thing is nothing more than a justification for what they're doing, but the actual reason why they're going out there and doing it is more because we have destroyed everything that they ever had in their country and likely will never have again. So now we've got all of these powers in Syria. Now, that's just a recipe for disaster, and this is exactly what the United States wants, and Russia knows it. You just watch. The United States is going to blame Russia for some plane getting blown up, or some troop was shot, or some boat was sunk in the harbor, or whatever. All of these things that we've been talking about over the last few years, myself and many others, it's all coming to a head at this point. You've got the economy collapsing. We're in a collapse right now. You give it another, I'd say 7 days roughly. Within a week, the economy in this country is going to probably drop by 50%. And you're going to see everything just completely and totally crumble. And when that happens, probably before it happens, something is going to happen either on the day that the economy crashes, right before it happens, or right after. And the reason they'll do this is twofold. One, they don't want people paying attention to the fact that this country is being economically destroyed. And two, they want to prop the economy back up. Like I said, war is a big economic stimulus. It's unfortunate, but it's true. They know this. Everybody else knows this. That's why we've seen a continuation of war over the last 20, 30 years. Because our economy is so fragile and so crappy that they have to continually pump out more equipment, more ammo, all of these things. They have to purchase these things in order to provide economic stimulus. That's all it's been about. And now we're also seeing, that Russia has has a strategic reason for being in Syria. The pipeline that runs up through there, or will run up through there, is not, one of them will be in the interest of Russia, the other one will not be in the interest of Russia, because it will compete with Russian energy sources. And Russia can't have that, because if this pipeline is shipping the oil or whatever other energy sources up into different countries around around Russia, it's going to hurt their economy. Why? Because people can get it from other places, and a lot of people rely on Russia for their energy needs. And Russia knows that, and it's strategic for them to go in there and at least protect Syria. Now, I'm not going to say that them doing that is necessarily a bad thing, and I say that because Syria is already screwed. The United States has already screwed Syria by shoveling weapons and arms into and training ISIS members inside of Syria, then turning around and saying, oh, those are rebels, and turning around and saying those rebels are now ISIS members. And so then they have to go in there and get rid of them. So Syria is a loss at this point. It's a done deal. That thing is gone. So Russia going in there to make sure that their national interest is secure with this pipeline, or with not having a pipeline, then we know exactly what's going to happen. The United States isn't going to want Russia to be able to protect its economy, because the United States is currently sanctioning Russia. We're trying to hurt Russia, but then we discovered, oh, we don't have as much power over this country as we thought we did, and it's not working. So Russia going in there to protect its own interest isn't necessarily the most horrible thing in the world. It's understandable. While I think people should leave other countries alone and stop meddling around in their countries, I also understand why they're doing it, because, like I said before, it's a loss. Syria is gone. I mean, even if we did pull out, that place would be under civil unrest for the next probably 20 years anyway. We've destabilized that entire region, and they did it on purpose. They did it on purpose. And now you've got these Syrian refugees heading over into Europe, and you've got the Pope calling for the Catholic families to bring in at least one family, and we all know what that's going to do. You're going to have these terrorists hidden in with these refugees, and then stuff is going to happen. If Catholic people in the United States start bringing in these Syrian refugees, then you'll have these, quote, ISIS members inside the country. And that's what the U.S. government wants. Because if it can scare the shit out of everybody else again and some more, it will do that in any way that it can. Why? Because a scared population is easier to dominate. And they've been working on dominating the American people arguably since Carter. But it's gotten a lot worse in the last, 20, 30 years since Reagan. So I want you guys to be paying attention to this crap, and you should start preparing, because it's coming. All of the things that we've been talking about, that I've been talking about, and all the other people have been talking about, the, quote, truther movement, the conspiracy theorists, all these things are coming to a head, and it's happening. It's happening now. There's nothing you're going to be able to do to stop it. It's already done. Pay attention. Prepare yourselves, because life is going to get real bad real soon, and you can't do anything to stop it. This is Tim with Op-Ed Daily. Peace out.